Yeah, it should be alright. Here's those extra stickers. Hot as fuck, goddamn. Just use the vlog. What's up, guys? We're here at Maximum Motorsport in Allen, Texas. We came out for the demo day, but no demo bikes. We came in too late, can't sign up. But Andrew here came in fucking clutch.
Got you.
Got me with that R6, a bike I came in to test out anyway, so we're gonna give it a little spin, see what it's all about. I am so excited. I am.
Probably ride that a lot faster than I can. I want you to succeed on video.
And hopefully if Andrew isn't too embarrassed, it is freshly low-sided, which is awesome. Got a little bit of damage here today. It's still good. It's still rocking it.
It's all good.
Still all good. It's a 2007, right? Ooh, baby. Got the shorty exhaust on there. I think it's all stock other than that, right? Thanks. Oh my gosh, guys, this is so awesome. I have, other than the Daytona, the R6 was like the bike I really, really wanted. Ooh, this is it in first gear? Ooh, it doesn't have a gear indicator. That's really interesting. Sweet. Let's test this bad boy. Am I recording? Let's do this. Ooh, this is very interesting. I feel like the wheelbase is shorter. This bike has got very interesting handling. The ergonomics, not the ergonomics, the geometry of the steering and shit is kind of different. This is so sick. This is my very first time on a... Oh, that handling is so interesting. This is my very first time on a 600cc Super Sport, actually. A 4-cylinder 600cc Super Sport bike. This is fucking rad, dude. I feel like I would have been really happy with an R6, honestly. But Daytona, dude. Daytona is my dream bike. But man, this was a close second. This is... I am so freaking excited. This bike has 6,600 miles on it, which is super low for a 2007. My 2014 bike already has 18,000 miles, so this is pretty great. Okay, clutch action is pretty interesting on this. Honestly, you know, I first sat on it and I kind of thought that the fairing was a little bit big, but man, this fits really, really nice. This is awesome. I'm so happy to be trying out another Super Sport motorcycle. I've never ever ridden another Super Sport. I've ridden the S1000R. No, I've ridden another Super Sport. I rode the Ducati 959 Panigale. But this is like classic. This is a classic 600cc sport bike. So fucking awesome. Damn, this got really interesting braking and clutch action. I gotta get a little bit used to that. Kind of different than my bike. And that's where the clip ended. Yep, my GoPro died right as I was about to get on the road and test the bike. And if you don't believe me, here's audio samples of the ride where I had some fun. It's classic Super Sport, dude. This thing is sick. There's the power. Wow, dude, it's unbelievable how little torque it has in the bottom. I keep sliding right off of it. Why am I not recording? Full fuck! Damn it! Who knows when it stopped? I should do a first gear pull. That's what I should do. I love the sound it makes! This thing is great! Oh, this thing's awesome! So now, instead of me being on an R6 and telling you what I think about it, we'll be on my Daytona, and I'll tell you what I think about the R6. So first off, the first thing you notice on the R6, and I really want to try out other Super Sport bikes, because I didn't realize this would be like a thing, but you can very clearly tell that the geometry of the bike is very different than the Daytona. Either the wheelbase is shorter or the rake is steeper. Something is different because immediately as soon as you leave, you notice that it handles differently. It flicks differently. It just, everything about it's a little different. I also noticed that at speed, it flicks slower than the Daytona. The Daytona has this quality of just like flicking super fucking fast. I forgot to do up my helmet. Of course I did. Pull in here and do up the helmet. Don't you hate it when that happens? Trying to vlog and you forget to do up your helmet like an idiot. Also, if you're noticing that this quality is a little lower than my usual videos, that's because I'm using my backup camera. Because I was an idiot, and I forgot to charge my GoPro Hero 4 batteries. So, there you go. Such is life when you're a Yammie noob. You forget to charge things. Anyways, upon initial impressions, like when I first sat on it... Alright, actually, let's start from the beginning, because I'm not sure if I'll include the first part of the R6 video in there. One of the biggest reasons I really wanted to test an R6 was because it was a super close competitor to me for the Daytona whenever I was going to buy my second bike after the R3. I was between the Daytona and the R6, like pretty much neck and neck. The Daytona won out because, if you've seen some of my other videos, I love this bike more than anything in this world, possibly. And it's like, I don't know, it just spoke to me in a way that the R6 just didn't. The R6 is a good bike, but to me this is like, it's the bike, you know? The very first thing you notice on the R6, unfortunately, is the lack of torque. Honestly, I now understand why a lot of people say that a 600 isn't so bad for beginners. Because unlike the Daytona, where you have torque and power almost anywhere in the power band, the R6, if you full throttle it like under 10,000 RPM, nothing really happens. It's really gutless. And that's not in a bad way. Like, you just have to work for the power, and the power is set up totally different. But honestly, yeah, like you could learn on that bike. It's really not intimidating at all. Obviously, if you stay on the throttle, it fucking rockets forward with power, and that feels great. But if you stay below 10,000, it feels like a 300. It's not very fast at all. And it's not scary either. It's not torquey like this bike is. I think that's one of the biggest differences, and the reason why I would suggest an R6 over a Daytona as a beginner bike. First of all, the price. I think the Daytona is like twice the price or whatever. But just off the bat, like, I was never, like, it never felt like out of control at all in the R6, and it always felt like I could just literally squeeze the throttle as much as I wanted to, and it would just, like, nothing really happened. It only happened if you kept on the throttle, and then it really, like, whooshes forward with power really smoothly too. That's the thing, comparing 3-cylinder to 4-cylinder. You know, the 4-cylinder is just so smooth. What else? I think, you know, for the prices you can pick up R6s for, that's so much bike for the money. It's insane. I think you can buy them used for like $5 grand. And that's another thing I wanted to touch upon. Even though the R6 is probably like about 85% as fast as the Daytona in a straight line, there are certain intangible qualities that I would always want from this bike that the R6 couldn't give me. I'm gonna kind of, like, you know, stroke this bike's dick for a second, but my God, it is like, it's so refined. It has so much torque in the middle. It feels so small and nimble and flickable. It's so much fun. It's such a good bike. And I think it's worth that premium price, honestly. I know a lot of people would disagree, and they'd say that you can... And that's the thing, right? I could have gotten an R6 after the R3 and probably have been perfectly happy, because I wouldn't have known what this is like, right? At the same time, I would have gone and test rode this, and I would have felt the difference. There is a difference, you know? It does feel better. It feels torquier, snappier, quicker. I love it, you know? Unless you're an insane person like me and you obsess over things like that, like fit and finish and refinement in the feel, the R6 is an amazing bike. You will be more than happy with that bike. It's got this awesome just motorsports feel to it. It feels like a proper fucking race bike, you know? It sounds the business too. The model I rode had a some kind of shorty exhaust on it. It was so loud. It was awesome. And revving something out to, like, you know, 16,500 RPM, that's fucking madness. I loved it. Would I have been as happy with the R6? I think so. If I hadn't known what the Daytona's like. I still think the Daytona's worth a price premium. I've still yet to ride a bike that I feel is comparable to this bike in the way it feels, and the way it makes power, and the way it handles. And I may be biased, but a lot of people who have ridden Daytonas and own Daytonas say that it's their favorite bike. It's a perfect bike. It's the best bike. It's so good. It's unbelievable how good this motorcycle is. Like, oh man, I love this thing so much. It's crazy. Oh, we got a tuner. We got a tuner mobile. Saw it. Saw it. So yeah, guys, apologies for the I mean, this is the only way I could have still made the video of me testing the R6. One more thing, if I can suck this bike's dick any more harder than I already have, having a super loud 4-cylinder, I did like doing that, and it felt so rowdy and awesome. I was like, yeah, I'm on a fucking loud ass bike, what are you gonna do? Like, it felt fun. But the Daytona has this like super cool sort of like distinguished exhaust note. It sounds like a British gentleman, just like, hello, yes, I'd like a cup of tea with that, and I'd also like some biscuits, and very good, thank you. And no other bike that I've ridden has this bike's induction sound. This triple's induction sound is unreal, dude. Like, listen to this. I'm about to give it a little bit of beans right here. Like, come on, dude. Come on, you can't beat that. That's the best sound ever. That's the best fucking sound. And the quick shifter and the Olins, and the fact that it's such a new bike, but it still has throttle by cable. It's not by wire, so you still feel that really sort of direct and raw feel from the throttle. It still feels like a crazy machine. It doesn't have traction control. Like, this is awesome. It's such an awesome bike. But I still stand by that. If I had gotten an R6, yeah, I would have saved myself like 5 or 6 grand. But you know, I don't know, it wouldn't have been the same. It would have felt like an appliance to me. I would have been like, oh, you know, it's my bike. Like, I use it to beat around on and have some fun. But this bike, this is gonna sound so fucking cheesy, but it's special to me. This bike is really special to me. You know, if you've seen other videos of mine, it's the bike I've wanted since like I was like 17 years old or 18 years old. I've found this bike and I looked at pictures of it and I just saw it. I've always wanted it. I've always thought it was the coolest motorcycle I had ever seen in my life. And maybe I'm biased for that reason, because every time I get on it, I'm just like, fuck, dude, I'm living my dream. Like, this is amazing. Every time I hear that triple, it's I think back to when I used to watch YouTube videos of hearing the triple, and now I'm like, dude, I hear it in real life now. This is incredible. And it feels exactly the way I thought it would. It's just this direct, awesome, fast as hell motorcycle. Oh, I just love it. I love it. I'm done stroking the bike's dick for now, but yeah. Final thoughts on the R6. You know, I really liked it. I really did. Like, the one I rode had this super duper loud exhaust on it, which was super fun. It's interesting, every time I ride a bike with a really loud exhaust, I have a lot of fun on it, but I never imagined myself having a really loud exhaust on this bike for some reason. I could definitely see myself with an R6 as like a super, oh my god, a moth! I could definitely see myself with an R6 as like a throw around track bike, definitely. I think it's perfect for the track. It responds really well. One thing that I felt was really interesting is that it just didn't flick that fast. It felt like at speed, it took quite a bit of effort to get it leaned over. And I also, oh my god, this is another thing. I just love how small this bike is. The R6, you get used to it, but it's got so much going on. The fairings are really wide. It feels like you're sitting on a leader bike, but it doesn't have leader bike power. This bike is so compact, it's so small, and it's so torquey. Oh, I'm sorry, I said I wouldn't keep stroking its dick, but man, I love this thing so much. It's so great. So yeah, guys, sorry that the camera died when I tested the R6. That was a really cool video, and unfortunately I didn't get most of it on film, but hopefully this makes up for it, and I will catch you on the next one. See ya.